Hey YouTube, what is going on? My name's Dustin. If this is your first time stopping in, please be sure to subscribe if you're interested in all things truck, what we talk about on this channel here. And be sure to like the video too if you like the content. But beyond that, what I want to talk about today, just got done eating lunch and thought I'd shoot a little quick vlog here, is the 2019 Silverado that was just announced a couple days ago. That's the one I'm personally most interested in. I've been a Chevy guy all my life. So we saw it at Chevy's release the other day, and we don't know a lot of specs about them yet, but it looks like a solid update for the pickup. Let's start with the exterior first of all, and there's tons of other videos where you can actually see the truck itself and pictures out there. I won't have too many in this video here, but we're just going to talk about it mostly. So on the front end, when I first saw it, I thought, wow, that's a Ford. I mean, their headlights to me just scream Ford. Which I don't think necessarily is a bad thing, because even though I'm a Chevy guy, whenever I saw the new Ford come out with their headlights, I thought, man, that actually looks pretty good. It's got a good aggressive look to it. So headlights definitely say Ford to me. The body style is definitely different for a Chevy truck. Along the side, it's got a lot more lines. To me, it just looks almost like it's becoming less of a truck and more of just a professional grade vehicle, if you will. And whenever I say less of a truck, just kind of a rough, rugged, you know, you think of the working man. But anywho, it's got a lot of lines on it. It kind of looks like a Tundra, and even then on the back side as well. Tailgate, it says Chevrolet across it, and that's actually stamped in there. So also on the exterior, what Chevy's done, and I believe they're the first at this point, I believe Dodge also a few days later came out with their 1500 that had the same feature, but the tailgate, it's a power tailgate. So it can go down by itself just with a push of a button on the back, and it can also go up with a push of a button on the back. So I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know how much I would use that, but nonetheless, you know, future technology is always really cool to see. You know, the tail lights are different. It still is a Chevy. You know, when I first saw it, and I'm usually that way with a lot of the new pickups that Chevrolet releases, I think, man, what were they thinking with that design? But as I see it more and more, and especially once you know they're out in the public and people start putting wheels and tires and lifts on them, I think, man, those are good looking trucks. So I'm sure it's going to be the same way with this 2019. So outside on the exterior, that's about all new that I can think of anyway. You know, I mean, it's a new look, that is. It's still got the little step in the bumper in the back, so that's nice. I noticed on the inside of some of the boxes they've got some drawers, basically, which I'd seen that. I think maybe Dodge has been doing that for several years, and maybe a few other ones. I don't know, I haven't looked at some of them, maybe the Tundra, but they got little boxes on the inside of the bed where you can open them and store things. And I think in the show they said that you could still fit a piece of 4x8 plywood in the bed even with those boxes there, so I thought that was pretty nice. But as far as the outside, the exterior, that's a lot of the big changes that they've made. In the engine compartment, we've got, you know, the traditional engines that we're seeing, you know, the 5.3, the 6.2, which they seem to be sticking with here. We've also got something that I'm super excited to see what it turns into, is a 3-liter Duramax that's going to go in their 1500 trucks. So when I saw that, I thought, man, I got to get more statistics on that. You know, whenever it went into the Colorado, and I don't think it's a 3.0 they're putting in the Colorado. This 3.0 is an inline 6 that's going to go in the half-ton. They're acting like it's going to get 30+ miles to the gallon. So that's pretty good in a half-ton pickup, and I'm super excited to see the numbers whenever they release those. I figure it's going to be comparable to what Ford's doing with their half-ton Powerstroke. And I think that was pushing like right at 250 horsepower with, it was like 450 foot-pounds of torque. Which, let's be honest, for at least me, I'm probably never going to need that much. This truck suits me just fine, and shoot, this truck's even too much for me, really, but, you know, I like trucks. Also on the outside, they have started adopting some of Ford's ideas about aluminum. You remember the commercial you saw a couple of years back where they line the two trucks up and drop the concrete blocks from ridiculous heights and puncture the Ford bed with a toolbox and everything else because it's aluminum. And Chevy's is steel. However, Chevy has started doing some aluminum on their vehicles. They're doing it on the doors, on the hood, and I think on the roof maybe. And the tailgate. But the bed is still going to be steel, so I guess they could still do those tests and be successful with it. But in doing so, by doing aluminum as opposed to steel, they're shaving up to 500 pounds off of the vehicle, which is going to further increase miles per gallon. Chevy's also doing something else that I'm really excited to see how it's going to work, and hopefully they learn from their first go around. I think it was in 07 with the active fuel management where you could deactivate 4 cylinders that caused some oil loss with engines. What they're going to be doing now is actually having it to where it can run anywhere between 1 to 8 cylinders, anywhere in between there. So, you know, I'm sure they're going to come with a good warranty, but hopefully we don't see too many issues out of that. I don't know of anybody else in the pickup game right now that's doing anything like that. So we'll see where that takes us. Interior wise, just from the pictures, like I say, I've only seen pictures and videos of what there is on the internet. I haven't actually seen these trucks in person, just like you guys. But the interior, to me, wasn't a huge jump from the current Silverados. You know, I've been looking at a 2014 High Country, and as soon as the 2019 came out, the exterior body style, I thought, man, that is, you know, so drastically different. Feels like, you know, I'm already behind in that fact, even though, you know, I still like the truck and will probably still end up getting it. Anyhow, the interior, there just wasn't a huge change, I didn't think. It seemed like there was a little more legroom in there, and I think on the numbers it said there was some more legroom. But as far as, you know, the knobs to change your temperature, even the dash, you know, and the MyLink system, it still all looked super similar. I think they had maybe moved the trailering over from the right-hand side to the, I'm sorry, over from the left-hand side to the right-hand side, which, you know, not a huge deal. But, you know, on the upper luxury trims, the LTZ and the High Countries, they had the stitching on the dash and the doors and everything like that. But overall, it didn't look like a huge change in the interior, which I'm okay with. I think they did a fantastic job on the 14 and up. I mean, it was a much needed update that Chevy did there, so I'm okay with that. Oh, another thing that they announced was the Trail Boss, which I have been waiting for a vehicle like this forever. When I was in high school and starting to get in college, I had a Chevy S10 ZR2. And the ZR2 was basically kind of an off-road ready S10 that you could buy from the factory. It had like a 3-inch lift, some bigger wheels and tires on it, and you know, a couple other things. I think it had a wider stance as well. There were several things that made it more off-road ready than a normal S10. Then, and it was in 2010, there was a concept vehicle, the Silverado ZR2. And it was a similar idea, you know. It had the lift on it, had the big wheels and tires, and boy, I loved that thing. And I remember thinking right out of high school, I was like, that's the pickup I'm going to get. You know, as soon as that comes out, I'm going to get that. That thing's awesome. Chevy has finally done something in the full-size range with that. You know, they came back with the Colorado ZR2, which, you know, is pretty cool. I like it all right, but they needed something in the full size to compete with the Raptor. You know, the Raptor is just, it's pretty cool. I'll admit, as a Chevy guy, the Ford Raptor is awesome. But what they announced is something called the Trail Boss, or that's what they're calling it. And it has either a 2 or 3 inch lift, I think some bigger wheels and tires. It had dual pipes coming out the back that looked to me like kind of like Dodge. It was kind of integrated into the bumper. I wasn't crazy about that. We'll see if that is, you know, what it's going to be whenever it's finally released. We don't know at this point. But, you know, it looked pretty slick. I got to admit, I was impressed with it. I think they deleted all the chrome on it, so, you know, it's pretty well blacked out in red. But pretty slick pickup overall. I was glad to see that, and I'm sure we'll get more specs on it as it comes out. So if you guys are interested in an off-road ready vehicle from the factory, Trail Boss may be your truck. I'm more of a high country guy. Boy, whenever I saw that interior with those saddle brown seats and, you know, the stitching and the headrest here, man, that's what I want to get my hands on. But anyhow, that was just kind of my quick little talk to you guys about the 2019 Silverado that's coming out. And, you know, we've got the Fords that are coming out too, and the Dodges that are coming out. I was glad to both see that Chevy and Dodge were doing something with their headlights. Dodge updated their headlights too, and to me, they just really needed it. The rest of the pickup market has adopted some new looks that just look a lot more modern. So I was glad to see that they had done that. Alright, well, like I say, guys, please use down below as like a forum to kind of talk about these new pickups, what you're excited to see about them, the numbers once they come out, or if you have the inside scoop, maybe you can post some information down below. Be excited to see what you guys come up with and what's going to be down there. And if you like this channel and want to see more truck content in the future, please be sure to subscribe. It'll help support this channel and grow it in the future. That way we can do more exciting things. And please leave a like on the video. Thanks for watching.